Come on in, let's go. Crown state, third eye blazing. Now memory in the mirror, self-lit in your spine. The ancestors, which ancestors are whispering, whispering. No flex, just recognition. Power seeks power and sits down. There's no competition here, only alignment. All of the mass will fall. Truth breeds, strength multiplies. Praise be. Ashe, Ashe, Aho. Come on. Strengthen your posture, your rising shade. Well, Ashe. Ashe, Aho. This is Duchess of Spiritual Doula coming to you again. I know it's been some time, but don't charge it to my heart or my head. There's some things that I had to do. And like I said to you before, I may not be out here as consistently as you see many of the social media gurus do, because I have to do some real things behind the scenes. So I try to get out of here as much to be as consistent for each and every one of you. If you ever need me, you can look at the bottom of the screen. My email is there, and I will keep that up throughout each and every video, so that if you need any kind of spiritual work, any counseling, any mentorship, any prayer, somebody to talk to, you're struggling, whatever, you can always email me and reach out to me, and I am always available. It's just a social media thing, being behind the screen and out here performing for folks that it's just not as consistent, you understand? So I'm out here when spirit allows me to be. But as many of you know, I have written some books, and a lot of the books that I have written, I've never really came out to really speak about them. So Spirit is allowing me that space even now. And there's some things that Spirit has brought up in my soul. So the first book that I did, which was about 2 years ago, is about shadow work. So I did a whole series on shadow work. But the particular one that Spirit has me to talk about is ancestral trauma, ancestral healing, because it is very important for each and every one of you to understand, to overstand, and to understand how to sit with your ancestors. Okay, I know that many people have heavy and went through so much in life, right? And it's become heavy. And there's times where you might say, I don't know if any of you have said, I did a TikTok video just a minute ago, and I just said, have you ever wanted to say you dropped the ball? You understand what I'm saying? People who have mishandled you, or you ever wanted to look at somebody and be like, you dropped the ball. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not about pointing the finger at somebody. The thing is, and that we need to understand and overstand, is this. We incarnated here, right? We had a choice. There was a script, okay? There was a reason, okay? Just like the ancestors before us, okay? They had an assignment. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very important that you understand and understand your assignments, okay? But most importantly, it is very important that you understand and understand how to work with your spirit team. You are not here alone, okay? I know there's so many different concepts out here when people are teaching so many different spiritual concepts. Many of them are not grounded. They are just grasping on information and coming out here flashy, and people are falling for it. And what we see now is many people still overwhelmed, depressed, okay? Not knowing what direction to go. So you got people like me, and I know that there's some others that are out here grounded and ready to teach and to express what Spirit is saying to all of you, okay? There are so many people out here, okay, that are walking around asking why their lives are so heavy, okay? People have certain battles, okay, that they keep repeating, okay? They want to understand why some wounds keep showing up and wearing different faces. Okay, I know for me, I was molested at a young age, and I always, when I talk about it, I tell people those things show people it was different people, okay, but the same spirit. So it's the old things repeating itself, showing up wearing different faces. Sometimes you may ask why the entire family line seems trapped in its cycles, and I know I talk about in the past videos that how I heard my mom say how the family's just dysfunctional, and I chose that I will not be, okay? But many family lines seem to be trapped in a cycle that nobody can put their finger on, that nobody can explain, okay? And this is what I want you to understand, okay? What most people call bad luck or coincidence or family traits or generational patterns are often the echoes, okay, of unfinished lessons moving through the ancestral field. And I want you to repeat that with me. Ancestral field. Say that again. Ancestral field. Because that is a key phrase, a key word that you are going to have to focus on.
to understand, because that's what we're going to get into at this point in time. And when I speak of ancestors, I am not talking about just dead relatives that, buried, just your grandmama and your grandpa, or Aunt Joe. You understand? I'm speaking of the entire network of consciousness. Okay, it goes deeper. Okay, I've seen a video the other day, and the guy was saying, "Oh, if you do this to me, if you act like this, my ancestors is going to kill you." I mean, unalive you. That is the wrong focus. Okay, yes, our ancestors work for us behind the scenes. Yes, we work with our ancestors, but it is not all doom and gloom, because for one thing for sure, two things for certain, you have not learned, many people have not learned how to sit and listen. So you want your ancestors to fight a battle where you open the door yourself. So this is why it's very important to really get this. Okay, all right, okay. So I'm speaking about the living network of consciousness. Okay, so say that with me: living network of consciousness. Say it with me again: living network of consciousness. Okay, blood ancestors. Okay, spiritual ancestors. Okay, cultural ancestors, forgotten ancestors, ancestors of a place, ancestors of wisdom, ancestors of sacrifice, ancestors whose names have been lost, but who chose to still breathe through the DNA of the living. Not just those ancestors, but you have elemental ancestors, and we're going to get all into that. Okay, the ancestral realm is not merely just a location, okay, where dead people are, okay, or where your ancestors live, those who transition reside. Okay, it is a library, and it is so important for you to get this, of memory. It is a storehouse, okay, of experience. Okay, the storehouse of your lineage, the storehouse of what you need, the tools you need. It is a reservoir of gifts, wounds, victories, knowledges, okay, talents and fears and strengths and unfinished assignments. Okay, every generation receives an inheritance. All right, if you look in the biblical texts, if you look into any ancient esoteric text, okay, you will see that there's always a blessing that the elders had bestowed on the next generation. Okay, some of them were bitter before they passed, and some of them dropped the ball. Okay, and you ever look at somebody and say, "Oh, they remind me of so and so. They look like so and so," and it was an ancestor, a relative from times past, or a picture you may have seen of an ancestor. Okay, all right. So I'm going to ground this for all of you. Okay, so every generation receives an inheritance, okay, from those who came before them. Some inherit wealth, some inherit wisdom, some inherit trauma, some inherit, we don't like that word trauma, right? Some inherit prophecy, okay, and most inherit a mixture of all of it, the whole scroll. And those are the people that I call the chosen one in the family. They're usually the black sheep, okay, the one trying to crack the whip, and the one trying to separate from the drama and the trauma, but they always been reported, they're just different. They operate different, they move different, they speak different, they walk different, but people look at them as the problem. Okay, I'm one. Okay, but now that I'm older, you get people pulling on me on things, and I'm just saying things to them now that I said to them when I was 8, when I was 10, maybe not with the best knowledge that I have today. Okay, the spirit was trying to awaken, Okay, so some people have it all. Okay, all of those that they're dealing with. Okay, the mistake in this, okay, that many people make is believing that they are separate from their ancestors. You're doing this by yourself, Oh, I don't need this concept, or I don't need that concept. But it keeps hitting you in your face. The mistake many that is that they really truly don't believe. You understand what I'm saying? And the mistake that many are making is believing that this is a separate journey. Okay, all right. You have the Christians who call on Christ. I mean, will fight for Christ. Will tell you that you're going to hell for Christ. Okay, but when you speak about an ancestor, oh, you're a demon. Make that make sense. I don't never want to get that. I don't never want to understand their concept. Okay, because even when you look, and everybody always says, you look at the garden and the Gethsemane and Jesus was speaking to Moses, same old dialogue. It just keeps repeating itself. Just like I said earlier, things keep hitting people in the head and repeating itself. What I'm trying to do now is move you past the repeat, to move you forward, so that now things can shift in the right direction. There's a movie show actually called Sweet Tooth. If you have not seen that show, it is so dynamic. It's about the age of a race coming to an end, meaning the human race. Somebody had went into an ancient cave, okay, an old doctor years on, okay. A child was born that was both human and animalistic, okay, had horns and ears, but was human as well, okay. The doctor got greedy, all right, and began to take more from this, and I'm not going to say the name of it because Spirit has given me something for that, and that's coming in a separate video. But if you have not seen that show, go get it, go see it, okay? But the world reset itself, okay? It had to reset itself, all right? Because people were not doing, what was going on was not conducive any longer, okay? We are not here by ourselves. And the earth in this show proved that, oh, you thought you were about yourself. You were all filled with ego. You were all filled with pride. Let me show you a few things. Okay, so it's very important that you are not separated, that you know that you are not separate. Okay, you are a continuation of their story, the earth's story, the earth's song, the divine's song, the ancestor's story, the ancestor's song, the Malachim's story, the Malachim's song. Because many people are angels, Malachim, walking the earth. Okay, you have to really understand and understand who your ancestors are. What are you tapped into? Okay, you are the chapter that some people never got to write. They incarnated here, but it became more than they can bear. Their journey, they knew what they were coming here for, because we all know. We may not remember, but the more you sit with yourself, the more you listen, the more you sit with spirit. Spirit will give you what you need to be doing. You may not. People are sitting around wanting to know, why did I come here? What did I? They want to go to the Akashic records and different things and channel to get answers. That what you gonna do with them when you get them? Okay, so many people have taken this spiritual culture and made it so far-fetched that it is very, very, very disheartening. Okay, so you got people like me trying to come out here to help each and every one ground themselves, move forward. Okay, all right. So what would you do with the information once you got it? Especially if you don't have the understanding and overstanding that I'm trying to give you today. Okay, all right. But many people came here and they incarnated here and they would sit here for a mission, and life got too hard for them. Okay, their eyes either got too big with power, and they mishandled some things. Okay, they didn't do anything. They didn't do some things right. They didn't walk right. They didn't touch the right things. Okay, all right, all right. So you are the chapter that they never got to write. All right, you are the prayer they hoped would be answered for many. There was many ancestors that walked heavy in this land, and they see some things, and they're like, they prayed for you to come. They prayed for a blessing, or there was some trauma, and they prayed for a blessing, and Spirit sent you. Okay, you are the connection of what went wrong and the expansion. I want you to hear this, of what went right. But how, my dog, I'm so sorry. Doodle, come on, get up here, boy. Good boy. So you are the expansion of what went right. And how do you become the expansion? Because I know many people say, I don't feel like it. It's been through so much. So this is why we're talking about both the book Ancestral Shadow Work. Okay, and then we're going to go into the details of how to work with your ancestors, how to sit with your ancestors, how to move with your ancestors, the types of ancestors, the type of elemental ancestors that there are. Okay, all right, so that you can understand who you are. All right, okay, that you can stand in knowing in the belief that you are the answer prayer, that you are the correction, that you are the expansion, that you are the justice. Okay, not the revenge. Okay, not the punishment, but the balance, the alignments, okay, the restoring of a thing, okay, into its proper order. It is very important that you understand that. And it is not about revenge. Like I said, it's about justice. So some people have mishandled their power because they misinterpreted it wrong, okay? It's not about harming and hurting, really hurt people. I mean, you know, what happens with justice? Sometimes somebody might lose their finger or their life. You mess with the wrong one, okay? But it's how you move with that justice. All right, when you mishandle that justice, then it becomes another issue that flows throughout the bloodline. All right, so we are going to talk about all that. Okay, and when we walk in a place of justice. Okay, all right, like I said, you become the correction, you become the expansion, you become the justice. Okay, justice, the seat of justice in between the worlds means standing 1 foot in the visible realm and 1 foot in the invisible realm. 1 foot in the ether and 1 foot on earth. You are becoming grounded. Okay? It means refusing to become the prisoner of your ancestral wounds as well, while refusing to reject the ancestral wisdom. Okay? You don't reject the wisdom. Learning how to listen, learning how to heal, learning how to sit with your ancestors. That's where we're going. Okay? Not that you have to carry on the wounds, because we're here to correct. All right? To be the expansion. Okay? Justice in this construct means, okay, this spiritual justice, this natural justice, because I want to talk to you on how to move in the natural and the spiritual with this thing. All right, it means learning how to carry the inheritance without being crushed with it. And many of us have felt crushed. You understand? We're looking at your mom and your grandmom, and you're like, you're looking at your life, and you're like, you dropped the ball. If you could have done this, if you could have did this, we could have been, I could have been, it could have been. All right? You were not pointing fingers here. Because what has been done has been done. But who's willing to stand up? Who's willing to take time to sit with spirit? Spirituality, I want to say this. People have come out of constructs of religion and have grasped it to this place of spiritual enlightenment. And it feels good. Because many of these people didn't have a place to go. Okay? They didn't have anyone to talk to. They didn't feel like they looked like anybody or fit in. So now they see that, oh, well, I can touch this, I can do this, or I can pick this off the shelf, and they're placing constructs, all kind of different stuff in with you got Santeria, you got Ethiopian, you got people just touching all kinds of stuff, Jewish cultures. Okay, same thing the church did, same thing religion did, took from many different cultures and bunched it up into one group. Okay, you got people doing it now, but the thing is, you need balance and you need to be grounded. You need to know how to flow and how to operate. Okay? Because what people are doing is opening portals that they know nothing about what they're doing. And that is also what that show, Sweet Tooth, is about. It's a powerful show. So if you have not watched it, please get on Netflix and binge watch it, honey. You are going to take notes about it. Okay? So many people are being crushed, but many people are also pointing the finger. But you got all the divine pointing at you. You want to lean on this one and point the finger at this one, but baby, it is you. The ancestors had their role, as well as the living had their role. Okay, the ancestors preserve memory. As living people, we create destiny. We flow differently. And the thing about how our ancestors move, and I want to go into all of that in these weeks to come, how they flow in the ether, right? In the divine, in the ancestral realms, okay, and how we flow. All right, coincides. But all of us have our own assignment, and in order for them to do what they can do, you have to learn to do what you need. In order for them to step in order for anything, it has to flow correctly. Okay, the ancestors provided the roots. Okay, and now we're here. We are living produce. Okay, we are living to produce and to manifest and to correct and to expand. Okay, all right. Okay, it is very important that you understand that. Okay, we're not walking in judgment. Okay, we're not pointing fingers. Okay, all right. We're correcting the imbalances that entered your lineage. Okay, all right, because we got to understand that a bloodline that is healed. Okay, all right. Oh, it is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to come back out here and talk more about ancestral healing, ancestral types, ancestral movement, how to work with the ancestors, how to heal yourself from your own trauma, how to occupy the seats of justice for yourself, because I know that life has not been easy for many of us. Okay, it's not been easy at all, and having the correct tools will help you manifest to the space that you will need to manifest to. Okay, so it's time for me to I don't know if you've seen the shift in my thoughts, or even in my space, if you have eyes to see. So it's time for me to digress. All right, I will be back out here to do more videos to move this thing forward. I will also come back here to finish the school information so that we can move with the school as well, and people can start learning more esoteric things and knowledge and metaphysics and different things like that, so that you can learn how to fully operate in this journey and in this walk. It's not about a bunch of fancy talk. It's not about a bunch of antics. It's not about me performing for you. It is really my heart that people heal and walk in the direction that they should. I know that there's people out here teaching some things, and I know their motives. I see their motives. At the end of the day, they really don't care as much as they say they do, as long as you are placing money and expanding them and making them look good. If you weren't, honey, in their pocket, they wouldn't give a care about you. Okay, and that is not true. That is not how the spirit operates. That's not how spirit operates at all. Okay, so I'm out here with spirit and trying to save you from the sharks. Okay, and teach those, that's the mantle that spirit has given me, to teach those how to know that they can operate, okay, function, when they lean on God. And I'm just getting some information as I'm saying this. And one of the things that I'm just going to share now, before I end this video, is how if you go into the canon of scripture, okay, or throughout the time, God would give a decree. He would show up for the people, manifest for the people, but the people still wanted to push away, okay, from the knowledge. They wanted to demean the role even of the woman, okay, because we all know the duality: God the Father, God the Mother, correct, okay? But there was a structure, and when that structure didn't fit the fleshly needs of the people, they wanted to shy away and say, well, we need this. I'll listen to you if if you do this. I'll do what you say, but just do it this way, okay? Time is out for that. And what Spirit is trying to do is raise up people that are willing to lean in a little bit more closer what has been done. And that goes also into our ancestral lineage and our ancestral DNA, the ancestral DNA of the world. Okay, so this is Duchess, the spiritual doula. I am going to go spend my time where it needs to be, because I can hear my ears ringing and everything has shifted for me. But I want to say to you all, okay, don't give up. Keep pressing, keep learning, keep sitting. It is important to you in this time that you are finding a time to pray, to meditate, okay? And I know for some people meditation is different, or it's not easy for them, okay? But even if you find yourself just sitting on the floor, finding yourself doing something that you like to do, bring your thoughts upward and aligned. Have that time with Spirit, okay? In the spirit realm, okay? Let Spirit teach you who you are. Let your ancestors and your spirit team lead you and guide you and speak with you. It is very important to do that. And not just come with, I need, I want, and hand out, okay? But to really have that relationship. It is very important. It is detrimental to your health, okay? So this is Duchess, the spiritual doula. It was so nice speaking with all of you today. Thank you for showing up. Grace and peace.
Come on in, let's go, clowns.